The Timbuktu Chronicles. The Timbuktu Chronicles is the collective name given to a compilation of manuscripts written by the West Africans of the city of Timbuktu. The city of Timbuktu was located in Western Africa, 8 miles north of the Niger River, in modern-day Mali. From 1100 AD onwards, Timbuktu was a center of scholarship under several African empires. The city rose to become one of the premier centers of knowledge and trade in the continent of Africa and the world. The West African city became a well-known center for Islamic learning, as well as mathematics, medicine, law, and astronomy. The West Africans of this region were well known as intellectuals, academics, and a people of great knowledge and understanding. Now, the Timbuktu Chronicles comprise a number of literary works inclusive of Durar al-Hassan Fiqh Akbar Bahad Mulak al-Sudan, which translates in English as Pearls of Beauties concerning what is related about some kings of the Sudan. Other works include Tariq al-Sudan, which translates into English as History of Sudan, and Tariq al-Fattash, which translates into English as The Researcher's Chronicle, or Chronicle of the Seeker, or The History of the Seeker for Knowledge. Now, the great literary work called Tariq al-Fattash was written by a West African named Mahmud Khati. Mahmud Khati was a Muslim scholar who grew up in the days of the great Songhai Empire. He was born in the region of Kumina in northern Mali, but spent the majority of his life within Timbuktu. His father was part of the Wakuri nobility, who were an elite group of influence at the time in the region. Mahmud Khati, in time, became close to the West African king, Askia Muhammad, and traveled with him often, including on his pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, in which was located Arabia, outside of the continent of Africa. Mahmud Khati details within Tariq al-Fattash the history of the Songhai Empire and the region in general. The work is divided into chapters, and he writes extensively about the various kings of the Songhai Empire, including Askia Ishaq, Askia Ismail, Askia Dawood, and Askia Musa. Askia is a term which means king or emperor. He also writes regarding the history of various West African kingdoms and empires, such as the Kingdom of Gao, the Kingdom of Daara, and the Empire of Kayamaga. The great literary work called Tariq al-Sudan was written by Abdi al-Sadi. Abdi al-Sadi was a West African scholar who worked as an administrator in the modern-day region of Mali. He lived in the Malian city of Genève and also within the city of Timbuktu. His work specifically chronicles the history of the Songhai Empire and also the history of the Empire of Mali and the Tuareg of West Africa. The Tuareg are an African group which inhabited the area of modern-day Mali, Niger, southern Algeria, northern Nigeria, and Burkina Faso. Tariq al-Sudan begins with a list of the kings of Songhai and an account of its founding. Developed over 30 chapters, the manuscript documents the history of Timbuktu and Genève, their scholars, and the history of the Songhai Empire. And so, we find that the Timbuktu Chronicles remain an extremely important manuscript developed by West Africans, which provides an in-depth account of their history and culture.